right? So this one right here is one that a lot of people forget about, because that's really what makes the situation unpredictable, isn't it? When I first started doing this, and I would get on the phone with Sean, and I'd be like, Sean, this is supposed to be unpredictable, but it's not very predictable, because I would do things like, all right, you're the running back, you see this guy, when he runs at you, if he's leaning that way, you run that way. All right, let's see it. I basically gave him the answer, right? He didn't have to search for anything, and I thought I was being reactive. But manipulating these components, but mainly this one right here, is how you make unpredictable situations. You want to talk about an unpredictable situation, I'm going to show you how we get down in West Texas on a Saturday night. Boom. Now this dude right here, this guy right here, I want to know what speed ladder or cone drill is going to get this guy ready for what's about to happen, and hopefully this video will play. Hey, here we go. Everything that he does right now is completely based off of his opponent, isn't it? He's got to be completely attuned to what this wild animal is doing. I mean, he has no clue, right? He's a rodeo clown, but he has no idea what this bull's going to do. And what happens if he's not very perceptive? What happens then? He's in trouble, isn't he? He's probably concussed. Maybe he gets stabbed with a horn. Maybe he gets gored. But I mean, he's got several constraint manipulations, doesn't he? What is this fence doing? It's limiting his space, isn't it? He's got only a certain amount of space. What about the ground? Is soft dirt the terrain that you would want to be moving in if something's coming to try and kill you or gore you? No, right? That's another constraint. And how long has this been going? Like a minute, right? So endurance and energy systems, he's got to be on point. And you just saw, that's the video. So that to me is the ultimate in perception action coupling. There is nothing that he does that is predetermined or pre-programmed, right? Because he doesn't know what the bull's going to do. We as humans are a little more predictable than the bull, all right? But that gives you a good idea of what I'm talking about. You've got to be attuned to your opponent, and that's really what makes this whole thing go. So let me give you a 1,000-foot view of what we're dealing with here. So these are all the different qualities, and you know, I'm sure you guys can think of others. That's not really the point. The point is, look at all the different qualities that we have to develop for those 18 to 22-year-old developmental athletes. Now, I know some of you guys that work with high school kids and stuff are not going to feel sorry for me. But you're going to say, Pat Mahomes, Jared Goff, you guys you've worked with are not developmental athletes like the developmental athletes I have. But when they came to me, they were, all right? They've all got to be developed. They've all got to get all of these qualities developed in 8 hours a week, with 5 coaches, with 100+ kids, 6 weeks maximum duration of uninterrupted training time, which the NFL guys are not going to feel sorry for me here because they get even less than that. Basically 6 weeks before this 8 hours becomes 3 hours, right? So that's a lot of stuff to get done, isn't it? So that's the environment we live in. So what I want to talk about as I zoom in is our 2 different speed days, all right? And that's really where we do really all of our representative learning work. Day 1, and I have this in quotes because for lack of a better term, I call it the high quality day. And I realize we want everything to be high quality, right? We don't want, it's not like day 2 is low quality, but high quality day mainly because longer rest times, more coaching, more talking, looks a little bit more like what you saw Sean doing with Michael and Corey and I the other day. It's a chance to introduce new activities, maybe new drills, and it's completely position specific. Representative learning, acceleration, absolute speed. We break up into position groups. So all 5 coaches take a position group. Now, it's not necessarily you have one position, you may have 2 positions, but it works out perfectly because for the representative and stuff. If I'm a linebacker, who makes a good opponent for me? A running back, right? If I'm a DB, who makes a good opponent for me? A receiver, right? So we'll usually group those groups together because they have similar needs and because they can give each other a look in the representative learning drills. Day 2 is a competition day because remember, who do we have to satisfy other than Bernstein? The football coaches, right? And they're going to want us to compete. Well, rather than just tug of war or throw a Twinkie on the ground and have them wrestle for it, or you try to get 5 yards before I steal your sock, right? Rather than random stuff like that, we're going to compete in representative learning, right? We can compete in that, and you'll see how as we go. But on competition day, they're not necessarily, because of the constraints of the day in terms of time, tempo, etc. It's not always position specific, sport specific, and position specific as best we can make it. We'll use belts, flags, we'll race. There's a winner every rep. We keep score, and the coaches like it. But as you see, it's not random. It's stuff that we want to work on. We're still recreating, capturing moments in time, just like Cam Batson's moment, just like we did on day 1, just in a little bit different environment. So here's another video. This is a compilation of a speed day. This was day 1, filmed by our video crew. Now the thing about video crews, you'll see this is a very well produced, professional looking video of not always the stuff I want to show you, because they're not strength coaches, they don't know. You're going to see a lot of sleds and stuff that doesn't look like rocket science, but the point is not, in this video, the point is not necessarily look at all these cool drills. The point is, wow, that's a lot of different people doing different things, still getting coached, still getting after it, all organized chaos on one football field at the same time. So you'll see how this goes. Here we are. We're in our indoor. You see a variety of different things going on. Yes, we're doing stuff other than representative learning, which you'll see the template here in a second. But mixed in there, you will see some representative learning drills, guys making moves on each other, trying to get from point A to point B, just like Corey, Michael, and I did the other day. But as you can see, if you kind of zoom out, there's a lot of stuff going on, there's a lot of people, yet we're still getting, I realize that there's stuff on here that we can all find fault with technically, etc. But rest assured, it's getting coached up, right? But the big thing that I want you to take away from here as well is you can see a lot of guys were getting beat. We're getting beat in those representative learning drills, weren't they? A lot of our DBs were getting beat. This was actually taken very early on in the off season, right? And these are all Division I DBs that make tackles on Saturdays. No jokes about our defense not being the greatest, please. They make tackles on Saturday. But back to my point yesterday, how they make the tackle, maybe they leave their feet, maybe they're in a suboptimal position, whatever it is, they struggle in space like that. Clearly, as you saw, a lot of times they were getting beat. As we went through the off-season, they got better and better at those drills to the point where they became comfortable being uncomfortable. They became comfortable in space, they didn't panic, they were able to squeeze the air out of the balloon, get inside their opponent's bubble, and tag off on them, unlike week 1 or week 2, which now that they didn't have a helmet and shoulder pads, they were lost, right? I say that that's going to help them. They're not going to forget how to hit people. When they get helmet and shoulder pads on, it's not like if I have a chance to light him up, I'm not going to all of a sudden turn it into a shake and bake drill. I'm still going to hit him. But in the situation where he is trying to put moves on me, I do have space. Now I'm going to be more comfortable. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to run at him and be like, oh crap, what do I do now? Like they did before. I'm going to come up. I'm going to be attuned to the right stuff. I'm going to close the gap. and I'm going to make a play. Here comes some templates about what it looks like. Now, before I put this up, when I was a young strength coach, I would go see guys talk. They'd put up a day of their program, and I didn't hear a word they said because I'm feverishly writing down their squat percentages. Oh man, this is the greatest stuff in the company. That's not the point. When I put this up, the point is for you to see we do a lot of different stuff of certain categories all together by position on a certain day. So this will be receivers and DBs. So this is an example day of day one. You saw the video of day one on paper. This is an example of what it might look like. So, and please, these times are not exact, so don't stop listening to me because you think 5 minutes isn't enough for a warm-up. It might have taken 10 minutes, all right? So that's not the point. We warm up, some movement prep. This is the receivers and DBs, so we worked on absolute speed. Dropped in 40s thanks to Cam Joss. In fact, a lot of this is thanks to Cam Joss. He's sitting back there. He actually introduced me to Sean. Right, so I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for him. So I can't wait to hear him talk. But we're working absolute speed, and I'm laser timing it. Why? Because on day one I have more time. Like I said, more rest times. You'll see what I do with those laser times here in a minute. But you can see more rest time, less volume, more quality, 20 minutes of representative learning stuff by position. And I know you don't know what these drills necessarily mean, but the point is you'll see when I switch to the next slide, which is running back linebackers, it's different. It's not all the same stuff. They're doing stuff that is based off of what a running back or a linebacker would need. This is what receivers and DBs need. They're doing absolute speed because they need absolute speed. This is the type of change of directions, more space, stuff that will reflect more the challenges and the constraints of their position. For 20 minutes, we're doing sleds, which you saw a lot of because people love sleds. I think because they look hard and they want to video them. So you guys saw lots of our sled work and we're doing plyos around it. That's with me and one other coach. And then if I'm a running back, a linebacker, well, because we run the spread at quarterback, we're doing something completely different. Same template, slightly different. Right now, running back, linebacker, more lateral work. Don't really see as much absolute speed. It's more initiation and acceleration. Lateral plyos, drills that I realize that you don't necessarily right now know exactly what they are, but you can see same template roughly, more catered to the needs of these positions right here. This is happening at the same time. This is not a separate group. This is not on a different day. These guys are doing this, as you saw in the video, at the same time as the other guys doing what you saw on the slide before this. Now, how do I decide what to do? I research, and I'm not talking about research like read books or find studies, though I do that too, obviously. How do I research? How do I figure out what to do? I go to position meetings. Tell me, what's the first movement you think of a cornerback typically doing? Somebody tell me, what does a cornerback do? Not at Texas Tech. We're sideways, facing into the ball, and we backtrack, and then we either break or we turn and run. I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to have all these great backpedal drills with our quarterbacks until I went to the position meeting. Oh, we don't backpedal. Our safeties backpedal, but our corners don't. So what does that mean when we do representative learning drills? Corners, you guys backtrack. Safeties, you backpedal. But that's just an illustration, and I'm not saying your corners don't backpedal. Maybe you do. But that's just an illustration of stuff that I wouldn't have known unless I went to a position meeting. Special teams meetings, phenomenal, phenomenal. You want to talk about being able to operate in space with a dynamically changing environment? Special teams, right? A lot of great ideas. You can really see who can move in space when you walk through special teams meetings, film review, conversations with coaches. And here I wrote feedback, not drills, all right? I'm not asking you what you do for indie period during practice, because I don't want to do exactly what you do. Number one, we're trying to evolve and innovate, so what we're going to do, hopefully, is better. But even if it's not, even if you have breaking me drills, I don't just want to do the same thing, repetition without repetition, right? I don't want to do the same thing for 12 months out of the year. I want to do different. But what I do want is feedback, because I'm not necessarily the expert. I try to be. I'm not necessarily the expert in your position, so I want feedback. DB coach, give me some feedback. I really like the drills, but next time, maybe if you could identify the boundary. That makes sense, right? Because if I'm a corner and I'm here, and this is the sideline, it's not really a two-way go, right? I'm just going to push him out of bounds. That makes a difference. Great piece of feedback. Start identifying the boundary, all right? So conversations with coaches, conversations with players. As someone said earlier today, it's a two-way street. I'm not asking them what drills they think we should do. I'm just asking them for feedback on their position. What are you thinking? What do you see? If I see something on film, take me through this. Our running back, when we played Kansas last year, had a beautiful run. He runs, he takes the handoff, line